I'm Kevin Klein. Time for a quick hit on Let's Talk Winnipeg, the podcast. I want to bring you inside Winnipeg City Hall. This is an interview that I did with Hal Anderson on 680 CJOB Global News. And we talked about a complaint that a resident had sent to the media and to all city councillors about the behavior of council and her experience when attending meetings at city council. We also got to talk about a couple of other issues, the safe injection sites that are being proposed and the city facilities not being open yet. So please listen in.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hal.
Well, has she got something or what?
Yeah, she's bang on.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Have a nice day. No, I guess I didn't expect. I guess I did expect that from you because you've been saying stuff like this for a while, eh?
Well, you know, Hal, it's interesting because I saw the email, I read it the day that you would have received it as well as everybody else in the media. I've since seen a follow-up one that came today, and all the points are very accurate. And I've had that before where we've put videos online of appearing at council and people are on their phones or they're on their computers or they're checking email. I'll often make reference to that when I'm presenting to council, that they're busy doing something else. And really, that is what I've encountered, and I've seen that happen with residents. I've seen residents, questioned when they appear because we have what's called a consent agenda, which is unlike any other jurisdiction in Canada. And a consent agenda means that the politicians are in charge. You're not allowed to ask questions. Only the politicians can, and you have 10 minutes, period. And it's the same rules for non-EPC members, or EPC members, I guess, but we don't have that opportunity to have real engagement. It's like, here, I'll give you 10 minutes, now go away.
Mm-hmm. And what about her? So aside from the conduct of some councillors, which is incredibly inappropriate, I think. I mean, these people are there making a presentation about something that's important to them. The least that council members can do is hear them out. I'll just read a quick text message from Kat up in Gimli, and I think she's bang on. She says, perhaps it would be an opportune moment to remind councillors that residents who appear before council or committees are voters and taxpayers who pay their inflated stipends. The courtesy of respectful attention is the very least they are owed. And I agree with Kat. But beyond the conduct, Bev suggests that different rules for different folks, that some bylaws, some rules don't apply depending on the situation, the neighborhood, and the players.
Well, and I would say to that, it all gets back to there's no accountability. There's no leadership at City Hall, which leads to no accountability. So there's really nobody in charge, if you will, because you will see decisions come down where in one area A is approved, but B is not. And in another area B is approved, A is not. And it does change from area to area. So I completely understand that. But you have to drill down on how does that problem continue to happen at City Hall. Well, it gets back to the fact that we have no leadership and we have no accountability. When I first got here, I was challenged and criticized a lot by colleagues and others because I didn't just listen to what the public service said. I would ask them questions, and I was told often, you're not allowed to ask them questions. When you have to agree with what they're saying. And I said, well, then why am I here? What a waste of time. So that is what they believe inside here, is that you have to agree with the public service. They're the experts. So then we are simply marketers, I guess. But that's not how I see our job. We're here like board of directors for an organization. We should be questioning how decisions are made. We should be questioning how money is spent. And that's why people believe that it's, one way for one person, one way for another, because there is no accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I get text every time you're on, Kevin. I get text messages and emails from people generally agreeing with what you're saying, and I think we've seen the lack of communication at City Hall. We've had this conversation many times. I appreciate your reaction to what Bev had to say, because she's making some statements, some comments, some claims there that I haven't heard from an organization like hers before, and so I thought it was important to get her on for at least a few minutes and then get your reaction. A couple things at City Hall I wanted to ask you about. What do you think about Protection and Community Services Committee voting unanimously to take a look at the feasibility of a supervised safe drug consumption site?
Well, it's a really good question, Hal, and there's lots of opinions out there about that. But let me just say first and foremost, I believe that some of my colleagues that are on EPC and the mayor, act more as if they're the official opposition to the provincial government than city councillors, because we should be collaborating with the province. And this is a provincial jurisdiction item. This is something the province has to do. So I think us doing that is more political posturing than anything else, because all we're going to do is make somebody write a report and then keep putting it on to the province. It's more than just a safe injection site. I looked at the facts. That's all I'm looking at right now. Why is it successful in Vancouver? Because it's just opioids. It's not meth. Meth is a totally different drug. I have a brother who's a paramedic in Calgary. They're dealing with meth. It's very different, like we are. If you look at the facts that were put out last year, in 2020, February of 2020, in Calgary, where they have a safe injection site, crime around that safe injection site is up over 110%. Within a 250-meter radius of that location. It's successful also in Vancouver because it's staffed by trained nurses, medical professionals, and they also have the ability, if somebody walks in and says, I just want to stop using, they can get them into a treatment center right away. If we can't do that, how are we helping them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm just about out of time. I know you wanted to quickly have a chat about gyms and pools still not open.
Well, again, I'm receiving a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, and a lot of people on social media asking why our gyms aren't open. I mean, of course, we had that fiasco where the city gyms remained open because we thought we were different or whatever that might be, and it's been a week now, and the last I heard was the city was waiting to hear from the province about what was going to be open and not open, which I think is an excuse because everybody in the city apparently, and throughout the province, knew what was going to open on that day. And we haven't opened ours yet. So again, we have lost touch with the fact that we're supposed to be a service provider. We're not a dictatorship, and we're not just tax collectors. We provide a service. And I think we have lost touch with that entirely, because I don't know if we were a private company, I don't know how well we would be doing today, or even if we would exist. Our service levels are not where they should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't think you can make a comparison with a private business at all. Kevin, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Al.
Kevin Klein, Councillor Charleswood, Tuxedo, and Westwood. Some text messages and emails coming in here. Klein is bang on, Hal. I've had my time in front of the city. Klein, was the only one who showed me respect. The others were sitting there looking very uninterested. And I get it. Sometimes, you hear presentations from groups or individuals, voters, and you know how you're going to vote, but you still have to listen. You have to show some common courtesy. And somebody like Bev Pike, who has gone before council many times, for her to, say this is what's happening, and a member of council, Kevin Klein, saying, yeah, she's right. I mean, that's, there's something wrong there. I mean, that's got to change.